We hosted the Bicentennial Gold Cup soccer tournament. Following a loss to Brazil and a good win over Saudi Arabia, Frank AROK's Socceroos prepared to meet world champions Argentina. Again, it was the first match between these two countries and would become one of the truly great nights of Australian football. Australia's shot stopper was Olver. Jeff, it must have been a thrill. You've played against Brazil, now you're up against the world champions. What did you expect?
Well, we didn't know what to expect. Obviously, they'd just come off winning the World Cup in '86, and obviously the expectations of their country is enormous. I mean, there is a big South American following in Sydney, as you well know. So we went there. We didn't expect, we thought if we can get a point, we'd be fairly happy, or, not get too much of a hiding. And I remember rolling up the Sydney football stadium. There was, I think, about 25,000 people. And again, we had Frank as the coach, and, there was a belief there that we could maybe get something out of the game. A draw might have given us a chance, and as I say, the rest is history. I mean, it was probably one of the best nights, personally, from a football point of view, and it's probably one of the best nights I've ever drunk as well. So, but it was just incredible. It was just, we talk about Charlie's goal. I mean, he's still, I see him fairly regularly still, and he's still living off that goal. I think he's got a little CD tape in his pockets now, and he just whips it out. But
this is Charlie Yankos, the Australian skipper.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of the best goals that you would ever see, and I mean, it was a result that really shocked the world. I mean, the beauty of that was that at the time, Martin Tyler, renowned in the world as one of the best commentators, was commentating the games for that series. And I mean, after the game, he was interviewed and he said, it's a result that would shock the world, and it really did. I mean, we ended up beating them 4-1, and I remember getting a black eye. I come out for a cross and I got an elbow in the face, and normally we didn't do that. We only had a couple of quiet drinks, but that night we went back to, we were staying at the Travel Lodge down at the Camperdown, and we went back there and there was about 2,000 people outside. You couldn't move. It was just crazy, and we probably had a little bit too much to drink that night because we had to obviously prepare for the final on Sunday. And I woke up and my left eye was closed, and you thought I'd just gone 15 rounds with Mike Tyson. But it was just a great night, and again, something we'll never forget.
Well, let's go and relive that unforgettable night at the Sydney Football Stadium for the Bicentennial Gold Cup match between Australia and world champions Argentina.
I'm really over the moon to meet the best team in the world, the actual world champions. We'll give our very best shot, and let's see what is in the game.
I think the important thing is that we go out there and at least produce the best performance we can.
It's an exciting thing to happen in Australian soccer, so everyone's looking forward to the game.
Yeah, well, it's not too often we get the chance to play the world champions, so I think we've got to make the best opportunity and take the chance while we've got it.
Done well in the past two games. There's no reason why we shouldn't carry on.
Hopefully the Australians will come out winners.
The confidence and determination of Australia's Socceroos as they face their biggest test for years, tackling world champions Argentina for a place in the Bicentennial Gold Cup final. Good evening and welcome everyone to the Sydney Football Stadium for the last Gold Cup qualifying match. The points table tells the story, Brazil already in the final, but Australia needing only a draw tonight to join them, whereas Argentina must win to overcome an inferior goal difference. Johnny Warren, mood is high in the Australian camp.
Yes, they're very confident. I think they felt a little unlucky against Brazil. They played exceptionally well against Saudi Arabia. Should they repeat that form tonight, I think they can get the result they need to go into the final against Brazil.
And I get the impression the Argentinians are even more nervous than our boys.
Yeah, well, they are. They're on back home. It's the national sport, a way of life. They don't take an international defeat anywhere lightly. They came here expecting to be in the final, and should, of course, they draw or lose tonight, they're out of it, so they're under enormous pressure.
Thank you, John. So, a very big night with plenty at stake as we join our commentator, Martin Tyler.
Well, the setting is excellent. The Sydney Football Stadium, with its futuristic design, an appropriate stage for a match which could have a major effect on the future of the round ball code in Australia. Vlado Bozinoski's international experience extends to 2 brief appearances as substitute in this competition. It's a big task to step into Oscar Crino's boots, but Bozinoski has plenty of self-confidence. That desperately unfortunate problem with Crino's ankle forced that one change from the side which swamped Saudi Arabia. And there was a scare about defender Wally Savor. Savor unwell yesterday, but he's fit to play his part tonight. In Argentina's hour of need, they turn to an 18-year-old, Diego Simeone, who's barely played 20 league games for his club, Vélez Sarsfield. Simeone is a raiding, right-sided midfield player, but that department does lack the services of a World Cup winner, Ricardo Giusti. Giusti is suspended tonight. One other alteration from the team held by Brazil on Sunday. It's in attack, Toribio Aquino replacing Dario Siviski. All the officials in this tournament come from Australia. Tonight's referee is Gary Power. And the game gets off almost 15 minutes late because of extra attendance at the gate, which is good to report. Attracted by the Socceroos' dream of a place in the final of the Bicentennial Gold Cup. And here is the chance to turn that dream into reality. It won't be easy, but they'll never have a better chance of upsetting current world champions. Charlie Yankos. Good work from Arnold. The tactics will be interesting. With Australia only needing the draw, there's no need to really force the pace, but it would be folly surely just to sit back. Argentina have to score, otherwise they won't make the final. Diaz, who's looked the most likely to score for them, got the 2 goals against Saudi Arabia, of course. The tackles are sure to be keen. And the support is sure to be passionate. And the Australian team got a tremendous boost when Oscar Crino, who has been in hospital, actually turned up at the team hotel late this afternoon. And he's here as a cheerleader, though as a born Argentinian, he'd love to be out there playing against his country of birth. Graham Jennings. Rodriguez. Simeone, a huge night for him. Alan Davidson will be watchful in Australia's midfield. Savor, it seems, picking up Rodriguez. Simeone. To the left here is Cabrera. Diaz has made one of those runs ahead of the ball. And he's found by Cabrera. And who's there to watch Diaz? It's Davidson. And how that particular battle goes may well have a major bearing on the destiny of this match. Still the latecomers making their way into the stadium. Players like Oscar Garre were with Argentina in Mexico '86. They carried all before them then. It hasn't been the same in this competition, and Ollerenshaw has found space on the right. Cabrera missed it. Graham Arnold trying to manufacture something here. Islas in trouble. Goal! It's given, it's Wade. What a start. They chased the referee to Argentina, while the Socceroos try and recover Paul Wade. Ecstasy on the bench. Chaos in Argentina's defending from the moment they let Ollerenshaw away on the right. And Ollerenshaw got in across. Graham Arnold worked very hard here, and it looked as though it was going to be snuffed out. but suddenly it rolled for Wade with appeals for offside. But the goal stands, and Johnny Warren, that dream is getting more and more like reality.
Well, what a dream start, and Scotty Ollerenshaw finding so much space there. But the goal couldn't go to a nicer guy than Paul Wade, a guy that does so much off the ball. A tremendous start for Australia. I mean, we're all overjoyed. Obviously, I thought they were going maybe up against it early. There's a lot of tension out there. The public's here tonight to see a lot of the Australian team. They've admired what they've done so far. There's a big difference going into a game when you're expected to win it. But a dream start for Australia. They have to consolidate on it now.
And Paul Wade, the all-purpose, all-action midfield man, who chases around the pitch to get into scoring positions. Well, he'll never get an easier one than that, but I wonder if he'll ever get a more important one. Jennings plants it in, and Islas can watch it go behind, and that was really a wasted opportunity by Jennings to keep the pressure on defenders who are clearly going through a difficult time. So 26-year-old Paul Wade, who plays for South Melbourne and missed out on a major occasion when Australia took on Everton because of sickness, and he was leading the party consoling Crino. But there'll be nobody more delighted, I'm sure, than Crino. But there's still a long way to go. But Argentina really had to come out now. That was the last thing they wanted. Australia must keep their concentration here. They'll be really bubbling inside the players. The whole complexion could change if they lose a goal now. And Batista with a looping header. And I must say, Jeff Olver knew exactly what was happening then, more than we did, because he watched it go over the top. And from the sideline, there was more than a heart flutter that it might have dropped in. Olver had it covered. That's what he'd like us to believe. Well, Jennings did well to get a foot in to try and set Australia going forward. Arnold having to fill in there behind Jennings. And Australia losing some of their shape. But being helped out here by a decision that Batista doesn't like. It wasn't against him, it was against Simeone. Yes, it's very difficult for Bozinoski starting a game at this level for the first time, and in fact he's getting some instructions from the bench, from the coach Eddie Thompson. Some messages being passed frantically. Farina. Well, the crowd react, but there wasn't too much wrong with the challenge. Oh, that's given away by Dunn. We've got it a second time. Wade is there to help out. And Australia at the moment have lost their way.
Not only lost their way, Martin, they're giving away free kicks. They're a very clean defending side. They're giving away free kicks in a very dangerous position like this one. Rodriguez is deadly in the air.
Yankos made the positive move. Simeone. Here's Aquino. Jennings trying to force him wide. Still a lot of players forward for Argentina, but that might give Ollerenshaw a chance to run it to some sort of safety. And between them, Ollerenshaw and Farina got them out of a fairly tense situation at the back then. Where are you? I think was the call. Savor. The time cannot go quickly enough for Frank AROK.
Yes, I would think Frank and Eddie can't wait to get the boys into the dressing room at half-time, have a few words. There'd probably be some reorganisation, I would think, in the middle of the park, but they're really going to earn their money at half-time tonight. There's a need for a change in the Australian game. They've lost that pressurising too, haven't they, Martin? It was so successful in the earlier games. And again, we're sitting here judging them, taking on the world champions, which is a little unfair of us.
But I think that's the way they want to be judged, and I'm sure that if they let it slip from this position, even against a vibrant Argentina, the best really in terms of a consistent spell we've seen from them at any stage in the competition. But I think if they do let it slip, they will be absolutely kicking themselves. We never said it was going to be easy, and it's not turning out that way, even with the boost of a gift goal. Argentina have a corner. Diaz limping across to take it. That would be another stroke of fortune for the Socceroos if Diaz has a problem. Yankos in the right place again. Good running by Ollerenshaw to try and reach it and hold it up, and in fact by getting there first he was fouled. That's what the front men have got to do. In these spells when Australia are pressed back, they have to have a release valve, and it was Scott Ollerenshaw then. He's trying to make himself available once more here, and he's done just that against Garret. Savor, Wade, another free kick to Australia. That was better. He's played with control, back into the pattern a little bit, a pattern that they've found it so hard to find. It's a most compelling match. Diaz, only to Wally Savor. Oh dear. He thought too long. And how costly will that be? Ollerenshaw is going to get a yellow card. Well, actually, it's shown to Savor. It's Ollerenshaw who committed the last foul. And Savor was really just running alongside him. All sorts of jockeying going on there in the middle. Here's Rodriguez, and Ruggieri has squeezed in the equaliser. A contribution from the captain. And it all went back to that mistake at the other end of the field. Australia could never really regain the ground that they lost then. And after 31 minutes, the pressure finally pays off for the world champions. Ruggieri's goal, a most timely one for the side that he captains. Johnny Warren.
Yes, what many would say that to give away a foul, a professional foul, deserves a harsher punishment, and that's how it turned out for Australia. but Australia would be a little bit sick. The marking was slack to allow Rodriguez clear on the far post. But Australia really not in touch with the game, are they? That's falling apart a little bit for them. And again, half-time is going to be a very busy time for the coaches.
And they'll want to get to half-time without further damage being inflicted. So, Carlos Vlado will be a little happier now. Not just with the goal, but certainly with the way his team are playing. I think we always felt that we would see the best of their three performances in this game. The worry would be if Australia couldn't live up to the high standards that they'd set. And they haven't been able to do that. It's looking daunting at the moment, but at 1-1, on paper, Australia still have the advantage. I'd be very surprised, though, if there aren't more goals to come in this game. Aquino. The header from Savor. Davidson, even an old hand like Alan Davidson, trying to rush the job then. What would serve Australia really well would be to get back in front from this free kick. It's to be taken by Charlie Yankos. We've seen Argentina charge out with an offside ploy at times from these positions, but not this time. And then it's a push by Wade. Both Wade and Robbie Dunn do like the ball played deep. And Yankos was trying to serve it that way then. KOSMINA. He's got a bit of a hip problem, and that reoccurred at the wrong time from his point of view, just before the Saudi Arabian game. Push on Wade, not by Batista, who headed the ball, but by Cabrera. Batista trying to stop the free kick being taken quickly so that everybody could get back behind the ball for Argentina. That's the sort of niggly play that Australia have got to cope with and not get involved in anything like this. Just let the referee sort it out. Well, Charlie Yankos embarrassed Dyer, the Saudi Arabia goalkeeper, from a similar position just before half-time in the game on Saturday. Farina followed in to score from the goalkeeper's fumble. What's Yankos got up his sleeve this time? It's a great goal! Charlie Yankos! Oh! Islas was totally deceived. Well, Argentina would have known what to expect. And I think they would have felt that that was out of range, but not for Australia's captain. And Frank AROK, oh, it was just flicking off the wall as Frank AROK gave his version of it, and it swerved and spun, and Islas was feeling in the end for just thin air. Really against the balance of play, it must be said. Olver with a catch, but he'll be relieved about. But I looked back towards Olver when Yankos' shot went in. He must have had a very interesting view of it, and he was leaping around as though he'd scored it himself. So too was Frank AROK. Johnny Warren.
Well, the great Diego Maradona would have been proud of that goal. A fabulous goal from Charlie Yankos. But as you say, the Australians up against it. They want to hang on now to half-time. They've been up against the ropes. They've had the initiative taken from them in this game. But Frank and Eddie will want to get to them in at half-time and settle down and get them to get their pressurising tactics and use the ball a lot better in the second half. But a fabulous goal of Charlie Yankos.
Australia, from their perspective, must not let Argentina equalise again before half-time. There's only seconds plus stoppage time. There might be a little bit of that. And that's a corner. Diaz to take it. Aquino trying to back flick it, and that could have gone anywhere from Simeone. But what a coincidence for Yankos. Almost the same minute of the game as against Saudi Arabia. Well, he's had plenty of practice kicking a dead ball from taking the goal kicks. Davidson. The nature of this tournament had really cast Australia in the role of favourites to go through here. That was an outrageous thought. They are the underdogs. And they're having some of the good fortune that underdogs often deserve. But it is a terrific match within the context of the league format. It's a real cup tie. One of these two teams is going to be knocked out, at least down into the battle for third place. The Argentinian supporters will still feel that their team has got plenty to offer. Ollerenshaw, Bozinoski. There was a player following in there, Paul Wade, who really must have been offside. There have been some rather debatable decisions when it's come to offside in this competition. That went unpunished. Came off the back of Arnold's head. It's half-time. Argentina unhappy as the whistle goes. Australia started the half magnificently, finished it magnificently with the goals from Wade and then Yankos. In between, it was all Argentina, punctuated with a goal from Ruggieri, who pulled it back to 1-1. But the Bicentennial Gold Cup, full of vitality, and who knows really what to expect in the second half.
Frank, your impression of an extraordinary first half?
It's a fantastic second goal by Charlie Yankos. You can't see a better goal anywhere in the world. We are really in big business at the moment, and hopefully we will last another 45 minutes, and it will be the biggest win ever in Australia.
Frank, thank you very much.
Yep.
Oscar, it must be hard sitting on the bench watching it.
Yeah, extremely hard. I must say that, you know, but what can I do? You know, I mean, those sort of things happen, and I just got to face it, that's all.
I must ask the question now, looking at the scoreline, will you be fit for the final?
I don't know. Well, if the boys keep playing this way, I don't see why the team should be changed, and unfortunately my leg is not getting good enough or fast enough, so I just wait and see.
Oscar, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, a 2-1 scoreline for Australia. An interesting 45 minutes coming up in the second half.
The bottom line at the start of the second half is that if Australia stop Argentina scoring twice in the second half, they are assured of a place in the final of the Bicentennial Gold Cup against Brazil. And that's not adding into the equation the possibility of any more Australia goals. They haven't had much of the ball, but when they have had it, they've looked pretty dangerous. And they're calling for Yankos to shoot. I think even Charlie might chip at this one. Farina miscalculated his jump. Might have closed his eyes, in fact. Here's Batista. The chips are really down for Argentina. Cabrera. Aquino, who hasn't slotted in as neatly into their attacking play as Rodriguez has. Bozinoski. It was a difficult first half for him. It was for all the Australian players, but particularly for a player coming fresh into the setup. The cry is 2-1, 2-1. Even in the difficult situation, Australia have cultivated a lead. Bozinoski trying to lift it forward for Farina. Cabrera. There have been some wonderful events in this bicentennial year in every aspect of life, but how appropriate it would be if in this special competition a host nation could make it through to the final. Savor running into trouble, and the free kick was a silly one, really, given away by Bozinoski on Simeone. Jerry will spend plenty of time forward in the second half. The centre-back who's already scored once can't make the header, but Luca retrieving for Argentina on the far side and doing very well indeed. Ruggieri in there again. Davidson to the rescue. Olver still down and dazed. Well, Luca, the sweeper, got a splendid angle here for his cross. Olver came, didn't collect under heavy pressure, and Alan Davidson booted it to safety. Socceroos, who's had a busy week with the Crino situation. Johnny Warren, Argentina settling to their task early.
What a beautiful cross from Luca. Dangerous cross, curling away. Olver gets the knock on the right shoulder. Lands heavily on it. And the doctor's worried. He's not now.
He might be concussed a bit now. A playful slap, but look at that. It was a collision rather than the shoulder. A shiner for Jeff Olver. Johnny Warren, I don't know whether you've got a calmness to talk, really. It's very difficult for the Australian viewpoint at the moment.
Well, I think they're doing their defensive job a lot better. Our problem is when we get the ball, there is just no composure on the ball. It's now the reverse. Australia is being placed under so much pressure by the world champions. We really need to use the ball up a lot more when we get hold of it. Easier said than done.
Arnold. Bozinoski. That's a good effort. Technically a good effort, and as encouragement to himself and to those around him too. Diaz. Dunn crisply in before Aquino. Davidson. Tremendous ball for Frank Farina. But it's defending of a slightly different class for the most part from Argentina tonight than that which was ripped apart by Farina when he played Saudi Arabia. Lugeri. Bozinoski again finding the target with his pass. Yankos. It's another nervy effort from the back, but not a costly mistake this time. There's half an hour to go. It's a tackle from behind. It was the angle of the challenge from Farina that the referee objected to. So a midfield player is going to be called off, Cabrera, for an extra striker, Oscar de Tissia. You might have caught the attendance being announced over the public address, just short of 19,000. Batista swinging in the free kick. Luca. Jerry well forward, very threatening in the air. And it's Argentina's free kick. Carlos Vlado wanting more. This is where they'll miss Maradona, or will they? It's Aquino who's lining it up, but he's waiting for the wall to get back. Yankos not sure whether to stay on the post or not. He's come off it now. Diaz leaves it. Aquino! Oh, and Olver didn't know too much about the save, but help was on hand. There's lots of offside now. And I wonder how significant that will be come the reckoning at the end. It was a great free kick from Aquino. Olver just thrust up his arms. Batista. Letizia not attuned really to the pace of the game yet, but he's got a free kick for a foul by Jennings. Well, Alan Davidson trying to give Argentina a taste of their own medicine by delaying the taking of it.
Get it out! Again! Come on!
Ollerenshaw almost tripping over the ball. That did look a foul. And Dunn. Oh, the flag has stayed down, and it's Frank Farina. There's nobody up with him. Penalty! It's a penalty to Australia. The Argentinians have gone mad. And all Farina could do was to attack them. on his own. And Gary Power being jostled here. The Australian players would do well to get a long way away from it. It's nothing to do now with them. They've got the penalty. I thought Farina was offside in the first place. And that was a trip by Gade.
I don't think there was any doubt it was a penalty, Martin. I thought Farina was onside. I disagree with you a little bit there, but it's a matter of opinion, of course. But I thought it was a penalty. Well done, Farina. He's played for it and got it. It's one of the skills of the game now to play for penalties and get them, and Farina has played for it and got it.
Yankos scores! 3-1! That was a test of nerve. After all the bickering and pushing by Argentina, the delay must have seemed intolerable. The prayers are being answered. And it was a great penalty in a pressure situation. Batista went over the ball. We had a good view of it too. Yellow card for Batista. It could have been red. And it's another scene of mayhem. An unsavoury turn. Robbie Dunn. There goes the foot. That's over the top.
Well, it's disappointing, Martin. Batista, a player we all admire. To see a professional player go over the top to a part-time player really turns my stomach. It's disgusting from Batista.
I think Eddie Thompson will be trying to take the steam out of the situation. It would be stupid for Australia to try and get involved in any vendettas here. Everything's going their way. Argentina have totally lost their heads. They're losing the game by 2 clear goals on a night when they had to win to get through to the final. Here's Savor. Let's hope we can concentrate on the football rather than the fouls now. The play will be pulled back because Farina followed through after the ball had gone, and he could be in trouble now. This is just what Eddie Thompson was trying to stop his players doing. Batista is indicating to Farina that he should be punished. But maybe there was something that we didn't see. It's Luca. So possibly I owe Farina an apology. And the free kick is Australia's. Well, that happened away from the ball. The linesman saw it, Bill Monteverde. Bozinoski to take the free kick. Robbie Dunn. And they're squaring up off the ball. Jennings won it cleanly. There's no shape to the game now at all. It's just a slogging and at times a slugging match. And Australia really do require their players to show good self-discipline now, because they can walk off this pitch with their heads held high if they do that. It's looking more and more as though it is going to be a great day for them. But they don't want to mar it in the 15 minutes that remain. Farina going for this one, and it's dropped his way. Bozinoski, corner. Keeps the pressure on, keeps Argentina away from the Australia half. Islas wants to deliver it quickly, but there's nobody there. Savor. It's Argentina's throw, but it was a very useful tackle indeed in the circumstances to halt Davidson. Diaz. Luca. Now Lorenzo. Bozinoski much more in tune with the proceedings in the second half.
Cover, Wally, cover!
Ruggeri finding Simeone. What a way for him to start his international career. In a match that may well go down in Argentina's history as one of the great disasters. Rodriguez, corner. Diaz racing across to take it. The second header's the crucial one, and in fact, it's Australia's free kick. Johnny Warren, can we really believe what we're seeing?
Well, Australia absorbed so much pressure, really up against it, outplayed if you like, but they absorbed the pressure, they've taken their opportunities, and the last thing they want to do now is get drawn in. The game's theirs, there's no way Argentina can get those goals. I hope we're not speaking too early, but I doubt it. And we don't want any yellow cards, we don't want any suspensions for the game here on Sunday. But such a gutsy performance by Australia. It's been a fighting performance. They would have liked to have played better, but they've been put under enormous pressure from Argentina. But a splendid game in different respect to the game against Saudi and certainly the game against Brazil. I think once you start seeing Argentina argue with the referee and pushing and shoving, you know the game's up.
My message to viewers around the world, and even some doubters in Australia who wondered about this competition as to whether the giants from South America would take it seriously, is that this is real international football, and I've seen plenty of it, I should know. Wade. Bozinoski! That certainly was the real thing. How about that on your first appearance? Frank AROK's running out of ways to celebrate. They're turning it into a rout. Paul Wade drove in the cross, and Bozinoski catapulting forward. Although he was tightly marked, he was determined to get the touch. A magnificent goal. minutes left. Argentina, having played so well in the first half, let's not take that away from them, but they're being destroyed now. They'll be making their reservations in Canberra for the 3rd and 4th place game. And they won't be looking forward to that too much, having been held by Saudi Arabia already once in this tournament. It's a night of glory. It's not been an easy road in this match. Australia have shown talent and technique earlier in the competition, but it's been determination, guts, with Charlie Yankos at the helm. I think it's fair to say that Argentina's plans for starting their building process towards the 1990 World Cup finals aren't too successful here. Rodriguez. Here's Simeone. And Jennings just got a piece of it, but not really the second time. Aquino, Simeone, and a foot raised. Argentina have a free kick. And Aquino has already shown us what he can do. And had that gone in, I wonder whether Australia would have lasted the course, even though the odds were still in their favour. There's the wall. Yankos has come off the line. Diaz poised for the right foot shot, but in the end he sets it up for Aquino, who went for power and in doing so lost control of the shot. Not really a narrow squeak that time. Farina. Rodriguez, oh dear, just hasn't been Argentina's night. Lorenzo guiding it on for Rodriguez. Diaz, it's a good chance now. Simeone, whatever they try, it's not working out through Australia's continued determination. Although they must be weary now. Not only the physical exertion, but the mental stress they've had to go through as well at moments in the game, particularly when it was pulled back to 1-1. Where there was a great risk of it all falling apart. Argentina were on song. Frank AROK knew his team was struggling at that time. Gade. Leticia. It's opened up for him and for Aquino, and still they can't finish. That chance going a-begging in the final minute of the 90. 90 most memorable minutes for Australia. And a match that Argentina will want to cast from their memory. Just imagine the reactions around the world when they get the news of this scoreline. Farina. Wade with another early cross. Arnold letting it run, hoping that Ollerenshaw had got in front of Monzon. Push by Savor on Rodriguez. Frank AROK said before the competition began, I think we'll play Brazil twice. I think we'll beat them in the group game and maybe lose to them in the final. Well, it could be reversed. For all the promise around goal of Rodriguez, he's still without a goal to his name in this tournament. The changes have been made around him. He's played in all 3 matches. We've had a minute of stoppage time. A huge party is about to begin. Lorenzo. Simeone. Letizia. Oh, and Diaz couldn't make it. Letizia, Aquino, and Bozinoski, who had to toil through the first half of his first full 90 minutes in international football, but really has left his imprint on the second half. Jerry was pushing, and that may be the last opportunity for Argentina to add a little bit more respectability to the scoreline. Frank AROK talked of the dreams before the match, but I think this is beyond even his wildest dream. It's only a question now of when Gary Power takes the final blast on the whistle, but that isn't it. We're talking of a party for the Socceroos, but it'll only be contained over the next few hours, but it begins now. After that, they'll be thinking of the final. A wonderful night for the Socceroos in the game in Australia. A draw would have been enough, but Frank AROK's team surpassed itself.
What can you say?
The team said everything what we had to say. 4 beautiful goals, completely outpowered, outplayed, outsmarted them, and I think that the new chapter of the Australian history started now and will go further and further.
Did you always feel it would turn out like this after that first half?
I never thought that we will score 4. I was very, very happy with 1 single goal against the world champions, but 4, it's out of the world.
Where do you go from here, Frank?
Home, and have a good drink and a good sleep, and we'll get home afterward.
Thank you. absolutely unbelievable.
Yes, it was. What did I tell you before the game?
Yeah.
We were confident.
Didn't know you were a striker.
No, I just do that as a hobby. Occasionally I just go and have a few shots and it works out for me.
What did you think of the Argentinians?
I knew that if we pressured them a lot and we didn't give them enough room, they wouldn't like it too much and they'd start reverting to the aggressive side of the game, which is not really their game. And as things worked out for us, they sort of got aggressive, they lost their composure, and we managed to capitalise on it.
This must exceed your wildest dreams.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, as I said, Argentina is Argentina. You know, one of the best countries in the world, without a doubt. And to be able to beat them, I believe, convincingly, was a great result for us.
And what about Sunday?
Well, I mean, we've got to get back down to earth now. I mean, it was a good result tonight. Brazil, I believe, is probably a bit more composed than the Argentinian team. The performance that we had against them was a good one in Melbourne, but I believe they'll be coming out and giving us a real hard game. Again, we'll go out there and do our best, and hopefully we'll come up with a good result.
Got a final message for all the Socceroos supporters watching out there?
Well, for all those that are supporting us at the moment, thanks very much. Just hope the whole country can get behind us, because believe us, you know, we're going out there and we're just playing for our country, so we just need all the support we can get.
Frank, what can you say? An extraordinary result.
Oh, it's brilliant. This is a dream come true, and we've done it for everybody tonight, and everyone's delighted, obviously.
What do you think will happen on Sunday?
On Sunday against Brazil. Well, I think